Hi everyone, welcome to this TL1 Predoctoral Clinical Research Training Award information session. The goal today is to provide you with some critical information about this program, and we hope you can apply and contact us for any question you may have. Today we have a special program because not only we present about the requirement and the value of this program, but also we have a prior TL1 scholar who was very successful and continue a record of success in clinical research. So to start, we present about the awarding per se, the requirement, and at the end, you have the chance to ask us questions as well as hear from Sarah. Who we are. So Dr. Khalil is working closely with me to lead this program. Together, we work with the School of Medicine to advance the TL1 program, that is a partnership with University of Maryland, as well as College Park, as you will learn today, and Johns Hopkins University. The purpose of this award is to support the training of biomedical, behavioral, and clinical researchers through individual predoctoral research training. For those of you who are not familiar with the CTSA philosophy and mission, the goal of this program is to train the next generation of clinical scientists. So scientists who apply, translate whatever we learn in science to medicine. And the goal is to help and improve the health of Americans. So the TL1 is one component of the NIH Clinical and Translational Science Award, what we call CTSA. And as I mentioned, this is a partnership. That means we receive the grant together with Johns Hopkins University. And this program includes a very close collaboration and opportunity for all our scholars to interact between the two entities. At the University of Maryland, we have all the schools involved: School of Dentistry, School of Law, Medicine, Nursing, Pharmacy, Social Work, as well as the graduate school. And from this year, we started to involve the University of Maryland College Park. The number of trainees vary every year based on the budget we have. The TSL awards this year will fund a UMB ICTS CTSA predoctoral trainee from University of Maryland, as well as we will have one from College Park. The duration of this program for the predoctoral clinical research training is 1 year. What do we cover? The awardee, these two people that will be selected, will receive a stipend. That means the PI will not be responsible to cover for the salary, but we will be covering tuitions, training-related expenses, as well as all the training opportunity. And all this is in line with the Ruth Kirschenstein National Research Service Award, what we call NARSA. And the budget depends on whatever they publish on a yearly basis. There are several requirements. So to be eligible, the scholar needed to be a US citizen or permanent resident. It is important that they have received a bachelor by the beginning of the training. And currently, they need to be enrolled in either one of our schools at University of Maryland or at University of Maryland College Park. If funded, the TL1 training program, no other concurrent federal funding are allowed. For example, they can't be an F-31 or they can't have any similar mechanism for their salaries. And there is also a duration, I mean, no more than 4 years of previous aggregate NARSA support are allowed. Other training requirement: if selected, we expect that our trainees are fully immersed in science and research, so 40 hours per week. Attend our didactical training seminars that will be offered at both University of Maryland and Johns Hopkins University. It is important that they conduct projects. So they truly work in the lab or in clinical setting together with their primary mentor or mentors. Sometimes we have more than one. Also, we request that they complete a master's degree in an area of clinical research. Because as we mentioned, the goal is to train the next generation of translational clinical scientists. We also expect that the student maintain a good academic standard, a minimum semester GPA of 3. Predoctoral trainee may be enrolled in their year 2 or later of their original doctoral degree. Let's say they are in a PhD program. We discourage or not allow people to start from year 1. So they have at least, complete year 1, and then from year 2 they can join us. To apply, we request a cover letter, a curriculum vitae, a personal statement that can be 1-2 page in the size of 12 font. And this space is used to detail the project title, a brief description of the project, short and long-term research goals, research interests, as well as specific training program, the master or certificate program that they plan to pursue and why that program can be relevant. And I would like to elaborate a little more on this. The project has to be feasible in 1 year. It is important to understand how this project can fit within the career of the trainee, and we would like to know the short term, what they plan to do during this 1 year working with us, but also the long terms. They do plan to be independent PI faculty, to have their own line of research. And in particular, we like also to learn about the area of research that they plan to pursue. We also request transcript from all higher level institutions that they attended, and importantly, at the time of the application, they also will apply for the certificate or master. And for any questions, they can contact Dr. Khalil at any time to get guidance on which is the most appropriate training, certificate or master based on prior training that they may have. For example, some people arrive directly with a master in clinical science, so in this case, can be redundant to do again a master, or some other people have no experience with clinical research, so we endorse combining full-time research with attending the master. So this year, our deadline will be February 11, 2022. What do we expect? 2 letters of reference that will be sent directly to the ICTR navigator at umaryland.edu. 1 letter will be from the former professor or mentor, and 1 letter will be from the mentor that has been chosen by the trainee as the mentor for this program. It is important to submit also an update NIH biosketch of the mentor. And we would like to see current mentor level of commitment with the applicant, the mentor prior experience, the biosketch, as well as why the mentor would like to be involved in this program. It is important to underline that during the review process, both trainee and mentor will be scored. So that is an important part of the application. And the letter should comment on prior mentoring experience. Sometimes faculty can be very junior or too senior and too busy. So both the extreme may not be ideally. And also we evaluate the applicant research experience, research abilities, as well as record of publication and funds. We also request a letter from the academic dean confirming good academic standing and, where appropriate, stating approval for the step out here. And we can talk on a case by case about this. So for the TL1 scholars that will be selected, that is a little bit our educational plan. So they will be involved in research and seminars that we offer monthly at Johns Hopkins University. We also have the Catalyst seminars. training in bioethics, ethics research, laboratory safety, good clinical practice, human subject research, animal research when appropriate, HIPAA, and responsible conduct of research. We also have a strong focus on health informatics, development of workshop that focus on nurturing different skills from writing to developing critical thoughts, leadership, and so on. And importantly, we focus also on patient-oriented research, providing some community engagement research experience for our scholars. And TL1 scholars are expected to attend our annual meeting of the translational science. And this year will be in Chicago, but the city may change from different areas in the States. Another important consideration is related, as we mentioned, to the mentoring and the evaluation. So we would like really to make sure that this one-year training is working. And we have a mentor-mentee agreement that will be signed by both trainees and mentors. We tend to meet our scholars closely. Dr. Khalil and myself are available anytime when they need us, but also we have bi-monthly meetings with all our scholars. And we will set ad hoc meetings when there are specific things to discuss, for example, the individual development plans, and as well as the progress reports. We have also the completion reports, and finally the clinical research appraisal inventory to learn about their experience. So we will have this at the baseline before they start the training, and then at the end of this one-year training to understand how different skills related to conduct human research have been improved. And with that, I would like to introduce our scholar. Today we have Sarah Robbins, and we will have some Q&A with questions for me, for Dr. Khalil and Sarah after we ask a few questions to Sarah. And I would like to invite Dr. Khalil to ask the questions to Sarah. Grazie, please.
Thank you, Sarah, for joining us and sharing about your experience today. Can you give us a brief introduction of who you are, your year of school, year in training, and area of research, and when you join us?
Yeah, so hi everyone. Like I said, I'm Sarah Robbins. I'm a fourth year epidemiology PhD student. I work over at the Institute for Genome Sciences with Dr. Rebecca Brotman. Our group mostly focuses on the vaginal microbiome, sexually transmitted disease epidemiology, and women's reproductive health. My particular interests are in the intersection of kind of chronic disease in the vaginal microbiome. And I joined the TL1 actually for my second year of the PhD program.
Thank you. And how do you believe the TL1 award boosted your career?
Yeah, so I really loved my experience. It provided me an opportunity to kind of work at IGS on a number of different studies as a study coordinator, where I played a number of different roles, got real kind of experience working with study participants in longitudinal studies where you kind of actually develop kind of a rapport with them. And then I also had the opportunity to take a lot of workshops and seminar series that really helped to improve a lot of my initial data analyses courses. So in epidemiology, we do a lot of coding, and this was really helpful for kind of giving me the fundamentals on study design and data analysis. I also, the conferences and presentations were another big part. I personally really enjoyed having the kind of bi-weekly seminars with the Hopkins group. And we also had the opportunity to present our research in progress with them. And it's a good networking experience for meeting other people, other students in either the medical field or kind of the more epi or molecular biosciences field. So it's a really great networking experience, and you get a lot of good practice kind of presenting your own work. And the conferences were also really enjoyable. And then I will say a lot of that also too culminated in some of my earlier publication work. So that's always super helpful. And most of all too, it really helped me prepare to apply to other additional grants as I kind of went on in my career. So after the TL1, with the support of everyone from that group, I was able to get a position on a T32, and now I'm transitioning to an F31. So this experience really set the initial stepping stone for all of that. So I can't recommend that enough if you're going on in research, that this would be a super great experience to kind of launching your research career.
Thank you, Sarah. And tell us a little bit about your experience combining the program and the master's, in epidemiology and clinical research, and doing a research project all, within the 1 year.
Right. So it was a good amount of work, but I personally really enjoyed the experience. I cannot recommend the master's program enough. Like I said, it really helps you with those fundamentals in study design and data analysis, which I think are super important, regardless of if you're in medical school or if you're pursuing research alone. And I've even had several friends in my own cohort who go through the kind of more molecular lab sciences. It's really great to have that data analysis perspective and have kind of projects focused on more population science, public health basis, because it just gives you such a great kind of big picture perspective, regardless of what field you're in. I also think the master's is really helpful when you go to apply for like additional things in your career, like grants and whatnot. I really think it's a helpful experience to have, because it kind of gives you that underlying fundamental layers of what you need to know. In addition to also, I would say that it really helped personally with in my own thesis writing and my own thesis planning, the study design aspects and the data analysis. The additional courses in the master's were very helpful with all of that. And I think it would be super helpful to anyone, regardless of if you're in a PhD or a medical school. These things would be super applicable to everything you do. So I personally really enjoyed the experience and could not recommend it enough.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sarah. So we can open now the discussion. So I see that we have 10 participants with us. It will be great if you can ask questions so that all of us, Sarah, Grazi, myself, can answer your questions. And of course, feel free to email us anytime. If there
I
are
have a
no
quick question. I can start. Thank you guys for presenting basic information about the program, and thank you, Sarah, for sharing your experience with us. So I have a question for Sarah. Was your project for the 1 year in the master's as part of this program that was separate from your PhD research project itself? Or was it with the same mentor and like same?
So I did mine with the same mentor. So my projects, they're similar fields. They're not my exact thesis dissertation. So these were actually, these are additional projects I did. They do like go, they kind of like fall in suit with my dissertation. There's all similar themes and things that my research group are interested in, but my thesis dissertation was mostly separate from these projects. That helps.
And did you feel that you still had enough time to work on your dissertation research at the same time doing the master's research?
I personally did, but like I said, I was with the same mentor. So all these things are kind of like happening simultaneously together. So I would say yes, but I think if maybe, I also say I'm in the same research group, same mentors. We've been just kind of developing these projects for a long time now. So they're kind of all simultaneous.
It is helpful to keep the same mentor, otherwise it will be mostly a distraction from what you are doing. So even if Sarah had some different projects within the same umbrella, the mentor was the same person, Rebecca, and the line of research overall was that one that was even part of the TL1. And also I would like for you, Sarah, to comment that you were able to publish during the 1 year scholarship.
Yeah, that's also true. I think it does help to kind of pick like at least some sort of feasible, especially if you're doing secondary data analysis or analysis projects that can be completed, or at least result in publication within that kind of year span. I highly recommend.
Thanks, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Great, thanks. Any other question? Well, if we don't have any other questions, we can stop the recording. And as I mentioned, you are more than welcome to contact Dr. Khalil and myself with any questions that you may have while you read the application or while you prepare your application. We look forward to receiving as many as possible applicants this year to be evaluated, and we wish you best of luck with this process.
I actually thought of another question. I'm sorry. Can I still ask it?
Of course.
I'm sorry. So I'm thinking about the requirements for the master's has quite a few courses. Do they, I mean, at least for me, because my program is different than epidemiology, is that I guess what I'm trying to ask is, are the courses for the master's, do they take up like most of the time during that 1 year?
So, Sarah, you attended the master. So, first, when there is redundant, let's assume Sarah had already, or any other applicant had already, complete some courses that can be evaluated and not retaken. But we have a certain number of credits to complete per each semester. So 2 semesters, sometimes some course can be also done over summer. And you do that at the same time you attend all the other activities and you pursue your projects related to the research that you propose.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very, very much.
Great. Any other question? Okay,